Welcome back to the 5280 Pitch, Women's Soccer at Altitude. I'm Kate Hanson, and today we have another fantastic guest joining us on the podcast. Today's guest is none other than midfielder Devin Lynch, number 5 for the Denver Summit FC. And Devin's story is one of those college soccer arcs that honestly, it gets me every time because it's not the 5-star recruit who dominates from day one. It is the player who had to figure it out. And I love these stories because I feel like these are the players that go the farthest. And Devin didn't score a single goal her freshman or sophomore year at Duke. Nope, but she played 21 matches as a freshman. And we're going to talk all about her college career, what it's like joining the NWSL and joining the Denver Summit. She graduated from Duke so recently, just in December of 2025. And then in January 2026, Denver Summit FC signed her to a 1-year deal. So she is here. She went through the preseason at Coachella, and now she is prepping for her first season at the NWSL. All right, Devin Lynch, thank you so much for joining us on the 5280 Pitch today.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Well, and like I said, I'm so excited because you're the first rookie to join the show. And so I feel like you're going to provide a whole different narrative than what we've had previously, because I guess there's the grandmas of the group, and they have their own WhatsApp and everything, the grandmas, and you guys are like the rookies are keeping them young with all your lingo and everything. So I'm really excited to hear your what you think of being in the NWSL, how training has been, what Denver is like. But before we get to that, first things first, you're from Illinois, soccer family. Your dad played at Columbia, and you have brothers that played college soccer at Northwestern, Ohio State, and Western. So was there ever a world where you didn't play soccer, or was that always just the thing in your family?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wasn't pressured into it, but it was something I was just like surrounded by my entire life. Yeah, growing up from such a young age, I was going to my brother's games and just like hearing about my dad playing in college. So it was kind of just like something that was ingrained in me from such a young age that I wanted to do. And I think the beauty of it was that I wasn't pressured into it. It was just something that I really fell in love with because I was surrounded by it with my brothers playing, and I have 3 older brothers, so 3 of them played, only 2 of them played in college, and then my dad played as well. But I grew up playing every sport just like a lot of kids do, but soccer just stuck with me and I really loved it.
Oh, man. And I mean, not being pressured into playing, I think it helps you stay in love with it. When did you know that this was more than just something your family did? When did it become your thing?
Oh, that's a good question. I want to say like late elementary school, early middle school. I feel like I realized like, yeah, this isn't just something I want to do is like along with all these other sports, it's something that I want to like really focus on. Like at a young age, I was like still playing basketball and everything. And I was kind of like, what do I like better? And then quickly realized that I just love the sport. And it was something more than just what my family did. It's what I wanted to do for a really long time.
And you led me to my next question. What other sports did you play growing up? I've got 2 young girls, 8 and 11, and the 8-year-old does a little bit of everything. She does swim, she does basketball, she does soccer and softball. My 11-year-old, she loves soccer. Soccer is her number 1. She also does softball, but it's already, I can see her like starting to fade from some of these other sports. So what other sports did you play growing up, and when did you really decide like, yeah, soccer's it?
Yeah, I feel like I grew up playing most sports. I would say basketball and soccer were definitely the main ones. My mom was a swimmer, so she put us all in swim, but that didn't stick for too long. But yeah, I played basketball up until like 8th grade, competitively, and then I decided then that like it was just gonna be too much going into high school to like play both. But then actually my senior year of high school, I had already been committed for a few years to Duke. And then I was like, why not? So I played my senior year, I played high school basketball as well, actually, on top of soccer. But soccer was the priority. Basketball was just something that it was also like really fun to do.
Yeah. Well, and you were just saying you'd been committed to play at Duke for a while.
Yeah.
You were in the
Yeah.
U.S. Youth National Team pool from 2018. You traveled to
hmm
China, the Netherlands, Portugal, Sweden with the U15, 16, 17 teams. What was that experience like as a teenager?
Yeah, I feel like it really like helped me become the soccer player that I was. Like I got to see so much of the world and experience so many different things at such a young age that it really just like helped me grow as a person and player and was able to contribute to like what I wanted to do long term, which is now play professional soccer.
Yeah. Do you think that
hmm
those experiences really helped you shape how you see the game a little bit differently because you were seeing international play as opposed to just, your stateside or club play. You were seeing it on a world level.
Yeah, definitely. I think like being able to like play against all these different national teams was such an amazing experience for me. Again, like at a young age. Obviously, like COVID ended up happening, so that kind of stopped the youth system for a while. But just having those experience for the years I did was amazing.
Yeah. And you went to Duke. You were the number 10
hmm
ranked player in your class, number 3 ranked midfielder nationally. Honestly, you could have gone anywhere. What drew you to Duke?
Yeah, I feel like I have such a classic answer with that. It's just like the academics and the like level of soccer that Duke was at. Like there's just like no combination like it. But on top of that, when I did visit, just the culture they had was so appealing to me. Just like the types of players that they recruited. I feel like they always recruited the person before the player, which was like super important for me because that just culture is such a big part of what a team has and like what a team needs. So just seeing that was so huge for me and a big reason why I chose Duke.
When you had so much success as a young player, like I said, played on national teams, in your first 2 years at Duke, you saw action in 21 matches. You played as a sophomore as well, but 0 goals in both seasons combined.
Mm-hmm.
For someone who was ranked as high as you were coming in, was that hard? Because you've always been, like I said, you were the number 3 ranked nationally ranked midfielder. I mean, were you frustrated with that?
Yeah, no, it was definitely an obstacle I had to overcome. I didn't necessarily maybe start as much as I wanted to or play as much as I wanted to, but I think that like in the end it ended up fueling the fire for me. And like if I didn't have those obstacles, I don't think I would have been able to have the successful seasons I had my junior and senior year. I think there's so much to say about like how my coaches pushed me those freshman and sophomore year. And as much as I maybe didn't realize it in the moment, I now realize it like how much it has helped me to get where I am right now.
Yeah, and like you were saying, your junior year, I feel like everything clicked. Seven
Yeah.
goals, 10
Yeah.
assists, everything just switched for you. So was there a specific moment or a match where you feel like, all right, I got this now?
Yeah, I think it was my sophomore spring after we had a little bit of a rough season my sophomore year. We didn't make the NCAA tournament, so my sophomore spring was kind of like dedicated to like changing the culture, figuring out what we need to do to like have a more successful season my junior year. And for me personally, I was like, I want to make more of an impact than I have in the past. And I remember my coach saying to me, like, make it so that we don't even have an option but to put you on the field. And so I think for me, it was just like going into that season being like, no matter what happens, like, I'm going to show up every single day competing for a spot and like competing to the best of my ability. And it really pushed me to like a new level that I hadn't gotten to yet. So, and then that just like every day grew because I was competing at that level, it grew that confidence within me every day. So that just like was, I think, the true reason I had my junior year and then led me to my senior year
Yeah, I
at
I
Duke.
tell my daughters that all the time. You want to give your coaches a reason to say like, I have to keep them on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I love the fact that your coach said that too. So you made it to the NWSL. Like, was that always,
Mm-hmm.
on the cork board? I know that Tobin Heath recently, they had her U.S. Women's National Team retirement, and she brought out the ball from Brandy Chastain, and she had that as like her thing next to her bedside nightstand was dream, and she kept that there as like motivation. Were you always motivated to be a professional soccer player growing up, or was it kind of, you know what, let's see what happens?
Yeah, I would say I absolutely have always said like professional soccer has been the dream. I feel like from a young age, it's like so many people are like, oh, I want to be a doctor, I want to be this, or whatever it is. But I've always been like, professional soccer is the route I want to go. And I feel like there would always be something inside of me that like was like a regret if I didn't try to push myself to this level. So absolutely, it's been a dream since I was young.
Well, why Denver? I mean, Denver FC signs you in January. I mean, just a few short months ago, 1 year deal, and you could have tried to get drafted. You could have looked at other opportunities. So why the Mile High City?
Yeah, I mean, there's just like so much to that. One, just being a part of an inaugural season is like so amazing, and especially as a rookie, like really, what a way to like start my professional career. But then on top of that, it being like the first professional women's sport in Denver, like there's just like I know there's so many people that I've looked up to growing up, and being like that person or just like a part of that team that like younger girls can look up to is just like so amazing. And so it was something I really couldn't say no to.
So did you have a understanding of Nick Cushing at all before signing here and a little bit of his coaching philosophy? Tell me, was it him that maybe drew you into being here in Denver at all?
I think like a bunch of like the staff that I've heard about. I didn't like have like a personal relationship with Nick, but I had heard about him from like people that I had trusted, and a part of his playing style, I feel like so many people told me like is what they see my game as. So I think that definitely drew me into like being a part of Denver and being a part of like, and especially now being here, like what he strives to like have our culture be, and what the vets have our culture be is like something that I'm super excited to be a part of.
So I have to ask too, like what do you think of Denver so far? Do you like it? I mean, it's very different than Carolina. It's different than Illinois. You've
Yeah.
gotten to travel the world and play soccer. What do you think of playing here at altitude?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an adjustment. I think in the long run will be super beneficial, but I think that we've been all like pushing ourselves that through the altitude, and it's not the easiest thing to adjust to. But I mean, other than the altitude, I've just found Denver to be amazing. Like I can already see the love for like the the sports teams that people have here, and it's just like such a cool environment to be a part of. And I can't wait to for our home opener to like really experience that firsthand. But yeah, I've loved it so far. Can't say I have any complaints.
Have you been to Red Rocks yet or any?
I have not, but I've heard a lot about it. My roommate in college is from like right around Denver, so I've heard so much about
Well, I was
it.
telling Kaylee this when she came on the show that asked her if she went and ran the stairs at Red Rocks, and she said not yet, but that is incredible training if you want to go and run the stairs at Red Rocks. Beautiful view if you want some.
Good to know.
You did get through the preseason at Coachella. First time with the team, first NWSL training environment. What'd you think? What surprised you?
What surprised me? I would say just like I not necessarily surprising, but just like the dedication that every single person on this team has to like day in and day out give their absolute best. Yeah, like I wouldn't say surprising, but it's very evident since like showing up here. And it's been just like so cool to see that like how much people everyone on this team has like passion for a sport, but also like pushes each other every single day.
What'd you think of the game speed? You know, you got to play against San Diego Wave and the Utah Royals. How did that compare to what you played, well, growing up on the international stage and then in college?
Yeah, no, it's definitely like a jump up, like as you would expect coming from college to the pros. I think that Duke, like we had a very, we had a style that we were very like big on pressing and counter pressing and everything. And I think that Denver is very huge on that right now too. So like for me, that's been, there's like a level up, but it's not like a level that I can't get to. You know what I mean? So it's just been something that I think Duke has prepared me really well for, but definitely a level up from college though.
Yeah. So where do you see yourself fitting into this Denver Summit midfield? You have Emma Reagan and McCormick and Lourdes Bosch. I mean, like you're having to compete.
No, yeah, super motivating. I think that is what pushes like each of us to be the best player possible and the best version of ourselves possible is like showing up every day knowing we have to compete for a position and for minutes or whatever it is. So I'm so lucky that I get to compete against all these girls that are going to make me the best soccer player I possibly can be. So
And you're surrounded by experienced NWSL players like Kaylee Kurtz, how she's been in here, the league for 8 years and, has
mhm.
an Iron Woman for the past 4 years. Carson Pickett's played 185 NWSL games. What have you already learned from some of these veterans on the team, other than the fact that you need to teach them, all the lingo of the young girls?
Yeah, I mean, one thing I think just like enjoying it and enjoying like our time with each other, but also definitely taking care of your body is it's much longer season than I think any of us rookies are going to be used to. So that's definitely an adjustment for sure. And I think I'll feel that as the season goes on. No, I mean, they teach us so much. And like, I think they were like a huge part of the reason so many of us rookies came in feeling so comfortable because they just allowed us to feel that way. They weren't like, oh, we've been here for 8 years. We know the ways. It's like, no, we're going to help you guys and we're going to teach you guys the ways and all that stuff. So they've been just so incredible throughout these couple months of being a rookie. I'm just so thankful.
Has there been a certain veteran that's really kind of taken you under their wing, or anyone that's really kind of helped you get acclimated to the NWSL at all?
I mean, a lot of them. Carson, KK, like you mentioned, they're both awesome. Like they push you every day in practice, but you also know that they push you because like they want the best for you and they're there for you. Like KK being like when I play with her when she's my center back in the midfield, I'm just like I always know what's going on. She's always talking to me, making me feel so comfortable back there. Carson's just so encouraging. Abby, Janine, like everyone. I can't say like have a complaint against any of them. They've been so great.
Yeah. And it's funny because when Kaylee was on the show, she was talking about how vocal she is on the field.
Hmm. Yeah.
She said that when you guys play at Mile High, March 28th, the home opener
Hmm.
against the Washington Spirit in front of 45,000 fans, it's going to be insane how much louder and what a different type of game it's going to be. Have you thought about that at all? Because you aren't going to be able to probably talk like you normally do out on the pitch. So, have you thought about what it's going to feel like going out in front of that many fans? First home game here in Denver?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an adjustment from yeah being able to hear everybody like talking constantly on the field. But I think that's what like these 2 months lead us up to is like just being so comfortable and like knowing each other's movements, knowing each other like if one person's pressing and the other person has each other's back. So I think like that's kind of what these 2 months lead us up to is like yeah, it would be great to be able to hear each other on the field, but if we can't, that we trust each other 100%.
What is it going to feel like for you walking out onto that field? I know you guys recently got to practice at the Broncos training facility, and
Mhm.
that was pretty
Yeah.
special. What is it going to be like walking out onto that massive field surrounded by so many people?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm just going to be filled with so much gratitude. The fact that that many people want to come out and watch us play for our home opener is just surreal. And like, I'm so thankful for it. So many of my family and friends are coming. So I'm so excited for that and so excited to play in front of them for my hopefully rookie debut. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just going to feel surreal, but so grateful for that moment.
Let's talk about the locker room just a little bit more because everyone's new and you guys are an expansion team. Everyone's figuring it out together. Is there something different about being a part of an expansion team versus joining an established club? Back in college, when you're a kind of a rookie, when you're a freshman, you're already joining
Mhm.
that established group. Everyone here is new. Like, so let's talk about building something from scratch.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like one of the amazing things about being a part of an expansion team is like the culture that like there is no set culture. It's like it's whatever we make it to be. So I think the vets, as you've said, have done such a great job of that. They've done like had meetings with us about like what we want our culture to be, and it's not like they're deciding. It's like discussions amongst the group, whether you're a rookie, whether you've been in the league for 10 years. It's like everyone has a say in what this culture is going to be. And I think that's such an amazing thing that like an expansion team gets to have and gets to build. So yeah, just like an incredible thing to be a part of.
So a lot of people are going to be new to the whole team, and you especially, you're a rookie. So
Mhm.
what type of game can fans look for from you?
Um, I would say when I'm on the ball, I would like to say I'm very like calm on the ball, technical, finding passes in behind, like kind of like a box to box midfielder. But then off the ball, like I'm a very physical player, counter pressing, pressing, like I love to do. And I think that's like a huge part of what Duke taught me that I didn't used to always have in my game that I've now been able to like bring here, which has been such an integral part of my game. So yeah, definitely like pressing, counter pressing, like love to get be physical on the field. And then like when I'm on the ball, it's like finding those passes that maybe people don't always see that I like love to be able to find in the midfield. So that's what I would say.
So if we were doing a foot race between the entire team of the Denver Summit, who's going to win?
Oh geez. We have a fast
I
team, let
know
me
it's
tell you.
been really exciting.
Oh, there's a few. I mean, Olivia Thomas, super fast. Allie, super fast. Cameron, I mean, I could go on. Like I don't know. It would depend on the day and who's feeling fresh, who would win that, who would win the race between everyone. So, no, it's a fast team for sure.
All right, we're as we wrap up today's episode, I have just a couple final questions. What is your go-to pregame meal?
Ooh, okay. I'm a big sourdough girl, so like anything like avocado toast like on sourdough, peanut butter banana on sourdough, or just like a sourdough sandwich. Like usually my meal consists of something to do with
Do you make your own
sourdough.
sourdough? I think I saw on Instagram Allie was making her own sourdough like just a couple days ago or a couple weeks ago, and she was making her own sourdough rolls.
Yeah, I don't. I need to though. KK is
That's who
actually
it was.
huge on that. Yes, so she's been teaching people how to do it. She brought one. We had like a when the Super Bowl happened, we had like a potluck thing, and KK brought a big sourdough that she had just made, or two actually that she just made. So good. So I need to learn from her for sure.
The sour anything on sourdough. All right. If you could play alongside any NWSL player, past or present, who would it be? And it can't be anyone on the summit.
Yeah.
Because I mean you're already playing with them.
Yeah. I would say Julie Ertz.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think she was such an amazing six and someone like I grew up watching.
She didn't get a lot of I
So
don't feel like she got a lot of recognition until like towards the end of her career. Like she was just kind of that
mhm,
silent assassin out there. And then like the last
exactly.
2 years, I think everybody was like, "Man, Julie Ertz is really good."
Exactly. And I think like watching her, like yeah, it wasn't like, oh, she's scoring the goals or this, but she was just like a player that fought so hard every single game and just like um so I would say her because she's just been was awesome to watch growing up.
All right, so this is the last question. One thing that fans should know about Devin Lynch that they won't see on the stat sheet.
Um, okay, this is random, but I absolutely love dogs. I don't think I'm gonna get a dog yet, but wouldn't be surprised if it's not too far
I
away.
say Denver loves
But if
dogs, so I
any,
mean, you'll fit right in
I
here.
know, I know. So, but if anyone ever needs a dog sitter or a dog walker, let me know because I love dogs.
I love dogs too. We're big dog people in our family.
hmm Yeah.
Devin, this has been such a great conversation. It's been really great getting to know you a little bit more, and I'm really excited that you joined Denver for your rookie season. I can't wait to see you take the pitch.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun.
We'll be sure to connect with Devin over on Instagram, follow her, and connect with her there and see all of the great things that she is doing with the Denver Summit this season.
Thank you so much.
That's Devin Lynch, number 5 for Denver Summit FC. And look, I love her story. I love the arc of it because not every player comes into college and dominates from day one. Sometimes it takes time, and sometimes you have to figure it out, and sometimes you don't score for 2 years, and then something just clicks, and you become one of the most dangerous attacking midfielders in the ACC. That is Devin's story, and now she is right here in Denver, competing for minutes in a really talented midfield, getting ready for her first NWSL season. I'm really excited to see what she does. I think Denver fans are going to love her work rate, her ability to create chances, her willingness to take defenders on. She's proven she can score in big moments. She's proven that she can assist, and she's proven that she doesn't give up when things get hard. So thank you again to Devin for sitting down with me. Thank you to all of you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, well, you know what to do. Subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Follow on Instagram and leave us a review. It matters more than you know. Last but not least, if you haven't signed up for the newsletter yet, there are special discounts if you are on the newsletter to get stuff like this cool shirt. There's great merch out there on the website, and if you are on the newsletter, you do get special discounts. So head to the5280pitch.com to check out the blog, the newsletter, all great things. Next week's episode, you're not going to want to miss it. Until then, I'm Kate Hanson. This is the 5280 Pitch. Go Summit.